Hi, welcome back. One of the questions that I get asked a lot by my clients is how can I forgive? Because at the end of this rainbow of forgiveness is supposed to be this pot of gold which releases you from all this pain, guilt, shame, heaviness, fear, blockage in that part of your life. And people understand that it actually is a good thing to do, to forgive. But a lot of people don't understand why it really is an important thing to start on the path. So today I'm going to talk about the three things that I discuss with my clients, and that is in regards to getting ready to forgive. And the first thing is when things are too big to forgive. I really love the quote from Dr. Edith Eger. She was a Holocaust survivor and wrote a book called Choices. And what she discusses is of all the atrocities that happened to her and her family and friends in the Holocaust, she says, I do not have the godly power within me to forgive those people for what they did. So this is where something might be too big to forgive. And what she talked about was that she got to a point where she had to get to a level of acceptance because she understood that that part of her life otherwise was going to remain blocked and she was going to miss out on living a full and wonderful life. So for her own sake, she came to terms with it. And her book is very helpful in understanding how she did that. The second thing I talk to my clients about is a quote that Dr. Catherine Woodward Thomas talked about within her book, Calling in the One. Now, I love this book for anyone that's looking to find the one, as she's a highly attuned and spiritual woman. She's very intelligent, has lots of skills. But the quote in her book, she says, I used to go to an ashram every year for 3 days, sit in silence, and in that time I would wait for any answers that I needed in my life. And anything I was struggling with, I would wait for answers. But this one year, she was highly wronged. This guy that she was dating for 5 years just dumped her and took their business. So she didn't have a job, she didn't have money, she didn't have love. She was really, really angry. So she went to the ashram as she usually did every year. And while she's sitting there in silence, day 3 comes and she's just highly frustrated because she's not getting the wisdom. She's just so angry toward this guy. She screams out to the sky and she said, I just can't let it go. I just can't believe how much he's wronged me. And she heard these voices, and the voices said, we know he owes you a great debt. We are trying to repay this debt to you, but your hands are tied in resentment and hate toward him, so you're not free to catch the blessings that we are trying to bestow upon you. And that makes complete sense to me. It made great sense to her. She let it go, and she received abundance beyond her wildest dreams. The final part of how I teach it to my clients is I talk about the coconut, letting go of the coconut. So the story goes that on a particular island, there are these naughty monkeys that live up a tree. And in order to catch these monkeys, the people that live on the island dig holes in the ground and they drop a coconut in there. And if the monkey comes down and holds the coconut, his hand then becomes too big to get out of the hole, and therefore he's trapped. So that's an easy way in which they can catch the naughty monkey. And all he needs to do is to let go of the coconut and he will live and survive. Now the analogy with that, in our lives, is that when we feel we have invested too much into a job, a relationship, into our small business, or something that's just not working out, and it's time to let go of the coconut, we don't want to because we feel like we've put too much into it, and therefore we stay stuck. And it's a really dangerous place to be because that can actually create lots of shame, guilt, fear, resentment, and all kinds of negativity where, it would be a good point to start moving forward. So that's how I like to frame working with forgiveness. There are many thousands of tools. I won't be able to go into them here. But if that's something that you think you need to work on, I'm here. Contact me.